today we are going to talk about freedom in press. And when I speak about this topic, I tend to say that many of us are not aware about it, or many of us do not care about this because there is human nature. The thing which you are not linked with, you do not care about it usually. But today, I'm going to tell it how does freedom of press affect your life, my life, and even everybody's life. So let's start it with a story. Recently, I joined a club in my school, the Liberals Club. And there, when I was publishing the newspapers, magazines, and I was collecting the data to publish in the newspapers, I realized the consequences. I realized how the journalists are truly going through when they're collecting the data for the newspapers, and how it is protecting the security and the information about the people and even about the authorities. So we need to understand that it is the press who is getting affected by this the most. And they are the one who suffer later on because of the oppression and pressure by the government. There was a journalist from one of the international countries. And in one of his books, he exposed the dark and the harsh reality of the government. It is a very nice novel. I would suggest you all to read it once. But do you know who did not like that chapter? The government. The government, the authorities, they did not like it that their information was being exposed. So they made fake allegations and accusations on that person, on the journalist. And just a few days before his trial, something very tragic took place. All his personal information, his bank details, credit details, financial details, email, contact, everything started getting exposed. Everything just started getting disclosed on the internet. So do you realize that's where the spying on journalists is starting? It's not like that. In the past, we had many beautiful organizations for providing the right to expression, for the freedom and media and press to publish whatever is appropriate. We, as a responsible citizen, need to make sure that we are providing them all those rights. There was an organization, the WPFI organization. This organization aimed to focus on the rights of the media on the press. The media and press should have all the open, complete rights to do their work. I hope you've heard about the Jammu and Kashmir tragedies, where thousands of people were killed allegedly on the streets openly by the terrorists. And what did happen? The journalists and the media had no complete rights to do so and report these news. But do you know what? These 21 journalists were also killed. For what? For doing their work? Is this the democracy our freedom fighters wished for? Or is this the democracy we all want? The answer is no. We all need to think about the press and media thoughts. The editorial rooms of the press and media have started getting attacked by the government. Why is this happening? Why is the authority so scared? And what is making them to do all these things? The organizations, the schemes, the protests and the rallies started in the past had a very noticeable impact. But today we see there is no such change observed. There was a fire for just 2-3 days, and again it started getting faded away. Why is this happening? And do you know what? This right to expression for media and press is mentioned in the Article 19 Part 1A. But still, is there any change? And now think, when the rights of the media and press is not protected by the Constitution, how can anybody else do that? Or how can you expect somebody else? So let's come back to my story. When I was collecting the data for the newspapers, for the magazines, I realized one thing. What if I expose somebody's privacy? What if I do something which is not appropriate in the newspapers? It has a very simple answer. And the answer is that the public should also be aware of their rights. It is not just the media. It is the public who is getting affected. People are not aware of their rights. And they believe that whatever the authorities' decision they take, it is appropriate. But that's not what the reality is. We need to know about our rights and we need to stand on our rights. The public plays an important role in this. We must know about the upcoming, as an upcoming generation, we must know about our rights in the constitution, in the media, and in the press. Before concluding, I would like to drop you into a realization. Just imagine a world where nobody is aware of the procedural happenings. The government does not know about the needs and requirements of the public, and the public is completely unaware about the procedural happenings of the government. These situations can take place. These things can come in the upcoming 10 years. If today the things are not changed, and if we have this careless attitude towards this problem, and this concern is not addressed by the government, such things can take place in the upcoming times. You all might be wondering, what am I saying? But when the media and the journalists are being stopped from doing their work, and nobody is aware of what happenings are taking place politically, economically, and socially, such situations can take place in the upcoming years, which is the thing which needs to be concerned by all of us. I know in the upcoming future generation, many of you may wish to go to the journalism field and follow a passion, which is completely fine. But just think of the consequences, challenges, and hurdles which you all may face if you go in this sector. I personally do not feel safe. I do not wish to go in this sector because I know of the consequences and I know of the challenges which I may face. It is a threat to me. It is a threat to my life. I want you all to be aware of the happenings, and the government needs to address this concern as soon as possible. Before conclusion, I would just say, when the freedom of press ends, so does democracy. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you once again.